Okay, so is your business actually ready to scale, or are you trying to do it too soon? Now, what I've seen over the last 15 years of working with various different business owners in various different industries, various different personalities, and various different business sizes is one common issue. So, generally, I get pulled in because the business has issues of some sort. But the answer for the business owner is often we just need to scale and we need to get more clients. Um, which may be the case in some instances, but 99%, and I mean most of, like 99% of the business owners that we work with, that's actually not the issue in their business. The problem is that they haven't, what's generally happened is people start their own company and then they suddenly start growing. And you might need to employ one or two people, fine. You can carry on with the systems and processes and operational things in the background that you've had when you were doing it on your own, because you can still be very much in control of what's going on and you're very much involved. But once you start getting over that sort of £500,000 mark, what tends to happen is that businesses need to go from the kind of lifestyle element into proper business, as I call it. And that is getting your systems and processes sorted, getting your operational elements sorted so that everything runs properly. And the idea is that the business owner should be able to step out for as long as they need to, and the business still runs without them in it. Until you're at that point, you're going to be constantly frustrated and getting pulled, pulled back into the day-to-day running of everything that's going on, dealing with the day-to-day problems that you don't need to be involved with. Dealing with clients, dealing with finance, dealing with everything that actually, as the business grows, you shouldn't be having to get involved in, because you need to be focused on the sales, the marketing, the strategy, actually getting the business to a point where you're happy and it works for the goals that you have for yourself. And that is one of the biggest problems. It's not actually sales, it's getting the business and the operations working properly in the background. And if you don't have that, what's going to happen is the bigger your business gets, those problems come to the surface more. And all that happens is the problems get bigger, the numbers get bigger. So your sales grow, the pain gets bigger every single time. And you're not special. Every single business goes through the same issues. It's how you actually deal with it and when you deal with it. Now, the entrepreneurial people will deal with this upfront, and they'll make sure that once they get to a point where their business is at that size, everything is already dealt with. You're not having to then be reactive with it. But the second best time to deal with it is now. And yes, you're going to have to be reactive, and yes, it will be painful, but ultimately, you could have a completely different organization this time next year. It normally takes 12 to 18 months for the work that we do with companies to really, really shine through. But you start looking back at it, looking at what the business looked like a year ago, and it is completely different. I have a client now that it took us, we literally blew the business up and put it back together again over an 18-month period. Same issues, no issues with sales. You know, they were doing over £1 million a year. They've been stuck at £1 million a year for ages. But they didn't have the right profit number, they didn't have the right staff in place, they didn't have the right processes, systems, job descriptions, responsibilities in their team, all that sort of stuff. And what happened is the business owner was just really frustrated and he didn't really want to come to work every day. But now we're in a position where actually he's quite bored because everything is working too well. So he now needs a new fight and a new war to get his teeth into. But that's really what can happen in your company, is that you get to the point where you're no longer needed, which don't know whether that's necessarily a nice place to be, but it is a good place to be in your business, certainly if you want to sell it at any point in the future. So if you need help with that, give us a call, and we will take you through the growth method.